Here is a quick what's blooming or not blooming update. The first thing is when I came into my sunroom that my Fred Clark After Dark had fallen. It's good that one of the spikes is already done and it didn't fall on the other one, but I'm gonna have to replace the pot, which looks like it is all broken now. When the sun is out, it's actually quite warm in my grow space. It is 82 degrees right now. One of my reptile foggers, like shorted out. It just started beeping all the time. So I have switched temporarily to just this humidifier, this cool mist humidifier up the top. That's it's a Richard Mueller. It's Purpurata crossed to Richard Mueller. I am blanking what it's called right now. Is that Sunset Glory, I think, maybe? It's been in bloom for a couple weeks now. And I have a whole bunch of compact Cattleyas that are bloom. This is Tokyo Live. This is Paxton Brooks crossed to something. I'm having a really hard time with the heat and having like the substance really weak on this, and the flowers are just opening up and curling. This one opened, you can see it's much bigger when it was cooler in here, not as sunny, so earlier in the month, but I'm having a really hard time with the heat that I have right now. And then this is Xinsheng something. Let's see, here we go. Xinsheng Diamond. I love the pattern on this. The flowers are drying up, it's almost done. I have a Chisis bractensis finishing up. I think it's already lost about 4 flowers. It's very florist now that it's an older Chisis. My Prothethia septra is also finishing up. Well, I guess it's done. I did send it to the Madison show and it came home with a blue ribbon, and it's pretty much done now. I have a bunch of Dendrobium kingianums in bloom. I have this Alba right here. It just has 1 flower. I got this from Nats a few years ago. It doesn't bloom every year, but my kingianums have done really well this year. And this species kingianums also in bloom. I think this is a Kiki that I got from Golden Gate Orchids. He had a huge kingianum and there were a bunch of Kikis laying around. He said I could just have them. And this, I believe, is a Kiki from the same plant. So now I have an extra that I can give away to someone. This here is a kingianum from Hausermann's, and there's a pinto in the way, so I can't get too close. He's bumping the phone. This over here is a king zip that's finishing up. There's still a pinto. Oh, like, okay, now you can't see the king zip. All you can see is pinto's butt. I have some flowers still going on this Jonathan's Glory Dark Joy. That's this one right back here. Right in front of it is a Specio kingianum, and the flowers on this are slightly smaller than the Jonathan's Glory Dark Joy. And slightly not as dark. I have this Cattleya Tropical Trick, which is Trick or Treat crossed to something. I don't remember what's the other parent. Let me look on the tag. Trick or Treat crossed to Tropical Sunset. I really like the star shape on it. And it's a beautiful rich red color, orangey red. I like it a lot. This Marissa's Suncoast threw out another 2 flowers. Really like the dark color versus the light color it bloomed last year. This right is Mary's Magic crossed to Candy Sparks, and I can't decide if I'm going to keep it or not. So a lot of these have bloomed out pink. If you go to Sunset Valley Orchids on the website, I've seen a light like white with yellow flares, but some of them are a lot more colorful than this. I really just ended up with kind of a weak flower. It's really, the petals are really, I don't know, pulling back. It makes it really look like, it looks like a person with really fat arms, and the yellow with the red flares, and then I think it's trying to make flares on the petals, but, or actually, sorry, on the sepals, but they're not great. I don't know. Maybe I'll do one more blooming on this, but this is the first bloom for me. Not too happy with it. It's just not, it's not saying keep me. This is Cheryl Winkleman Chris. It's really hard to see. But it decided just to throw out a few flowers. This normally blooms around Christmas time, so it just threw out like another spike and a few flowers. And also up on that top shelf is my aristocrat. It's kind of dry, so all the petals are super thin. I got this Ruby Delight from Sunset Valley Orchids, and literally the flowers never opened up. Look at that. They're just kind of pinched and closed. What do you think, Pinto? That was a really sad blooming. Here in the front is my Epidendrum Parkinsonianum that I got from the iOS auction. So I did not actually bid on this. I had a proxy and I shot the show instead. And so I just came back to the auction and found that I'd won it. So there you go. It was actually doing the live auction, so I actually had someone else bidding for me, so I didn't have to bid on it at all. I just gave Julie an upper limit, and she bid for me. It's a pretty nice Parkinsonianum. I have a Parkinsonianum down here, but I've had it for like maybe 4 years now, and it's just not doing that great. So I'm hoping that this one will do better for me. I need to water it a lot more if I want it to bloom. This is blooming size. And then I have a lot of Richard Muellers, if you can see back here, and I'm going to try to move them out so I can see the flowers today. Also really nice is this Oncidium Shari Baby and this Cattleya Larva Burst, which is above me on a 6-foot shelf. And so whenever I come in, I can walk under it and I can smell vanilla underneath. And I've got this Potenara pumpkin that's blooming, but it's within range of Pinto chewing, and he's definitely had nibbles on it. Finally, I have some phalaenopsis downstairs on my windowsill, just standard mini phalaenopsis, and one Sogo Vivian with its variegated leaves in bloom. They fit right on the windowsill. And finally, my Christmas gift from Hauserman's is still blooming.